Hello and welcome back. In our last week's video, we looked at the variable as a basic building block to coding, and we looked at how we could use it to store information. This week on Instagram or Facebook, if you follow me, you'll notice that I put a picture up of a fork and said we would use this to look at the next phase of programming, the next step in programming. And I promise to do that now. So imagine we are at the supermarket. It's just after work. You and everyone else is trying to get dinner, and so you're standing in a queue. And you look to the queue to the left of you, and you realize, oh, I should move because that's shorter. Well, let's look at that a little bit closer. You decide to move because maybe you realize that there are fewer people in that queue than it is in this queue. And if you look at that closer, in your head, very, very quickly, you went, how many people are in this queue? I don't know, let's say 7. How many people are in the other queue? I don't know, let's say 5. Okay, is that less than the number that's in my current queue? Yes, then I should move. And right there, that is the part of the conditional. A conditional is a programmatic way of saying, should I take this road or not? When I'm presented with a fork in the road, which path do I take? And for a computer to understand that, it has to basically boil down to what we consider a yes or no decision. Are there fewer people in that queue than in my queue? Well, a computer doesn't understand yes or no, but it does understand true or false. So when we write conditionals, we want to write a way that we can get a true or false answer. Now, this can be quite complicated to talk about just using words. So I'm actually going to use a text editor and use something called pseudocode. It's not code that I would actually compile, but we can use it as a way to sort of understand what it is that we want to eventually code. So I'm going to bring this up now, over here. Hopefully you should be able to see this. So let's look at what we're trying to do in terms of supermarket. We want to move if there's fewer people in the next line than there is in our line. So we can type if people, let's write this number of people in my line is greater than people in other line, okay, then I want to move. So I should probably say move. And if it's not true, then stay put. Okay. Right there is how we structure a conditional, and it works the same in most programming languages. We have the if part, which is an if, and then you say number of people in my line, and then you're comparing against something else to be a true or false statement. Here I'm saying number of people in my line is greater than the other people in the other line. And I'm either going to get a yes or no answer. It's not going to be it depends. And then here, the move part is something I want to do if it's true. You know, I want to take one path. And the other thing to do if it's not true, the other option. And that's how conditionals work. Now, I also want to point out very, very quickly that we have something that we talked about yesterday, which is we have variables. Here you can see that number of people in my line is a type of variable. Okay? It's a container that, in this case, is going to hold a number. And we're comparing against another variable, people on another line, which is another variable. Okay? And that means that it doesn't matter what the numbers are. I know that the variables are going to be the containers to hold that information. And so when the program executes, it's going to actually open those little containers and find the numbers inside and do the calculations for me. So it doesn't matter if I have 1 or 2 or 1.5 and 2.5 or 1 billion and 0.001. It's all going to be able to work the same. So that's it for now for conditionals. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you do, please like and subscribe and share it with other people that want to understand more about programming. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.